It's your brother Isaiah again with another video for all the conscious brothers and all the conscious sisters in the conscious community keeping the struggle. Because we know it's through the struggle that we grow. Also, I like to say that it is a slow process for progress and that the race is not to those that are swift, it's only to those who can keep their duty. So you got to be willing to stay in this for the long haul. Y'all already know my videos, they never constitute any legal advice. I'm not a legal counsel. I'm just your brother. I just share with you education and information about my walks and travels throughout my journey called life. And I like to extend all these honors to you because when you honor man and you honor woman, man, you honor yourself. Let me acknowledge Allah, the head, the temple of my life, and extend that same love, courtesy, and acknowledgement to all of his messengers and prophets. Peace to you, beloved brothers and sisters. Grand rising to all the indigenous kings and queens. How's everyone today? Me, oh man, I'm blessed, baby. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm thankful for the knowledge. I'm thankful, man. I'm thankful for everything that the Creator is blessing me with, man. Just for the discernment, for me to be able to bring clarity for us all, man. It's a blessing that I even understand what I understand, so that I can break it down, so that we can all comprehend this information, man. So I'm thankful for that. But today I just wanted to just speak on a few things that are factuals. They took down your video from yesterday, bro. You dropped some gems. Bring it. They took it down. Stop it. They didn't take that down. You gotta be kidding me. Man, hey family, how y'all doing? Blessings, 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 blessings. Oh man, it ain't no outfit. Now you trying to tell me you like my body, cause I ain't got on no outfit. No, I'm just playing. You like the outfit? Yeah, yeah. I try to, you gotta, they say, how they say you gotta come like a sheep in wolf clothing. So what I do is like, a lot of our people are, uh, they hypnotized by like looking like this. When you dress up like this, you got jewelry on. That's what they gravitate towards. So a lot of times, and they gravitate towards you when you dress up. You got your fez on, you suited and booted. They gravitate towards that too. They gravitate towards both looks. So you gotta be able, like, when I dress like this, it's usually because I'm going into the hood. So if I go into the hood, then I dress like this so I can reach them. You know what I'm saying? They more susceptible to accept what I'm saying if I come looking like them. You know what I'm saying? Dressed up like them. What's up, bro? How you doing? But then as soon as they think I'm finna be cool with them, here come the high science. I get to dropping science on them. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta be able to, make myself approachable for them. If I'm in the hood, I don't want to come dressing like the pastor, and I'm in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So when I go to the hood, I switch it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I try to be more conducive to what I know people want to see. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it seems like my video is kind of dim or something. I don't know. Like it's about to shut off on me or something. So we'll see how this turn out. Uh, right, exactly. So what I want to talk to y'all about right today, all right, a credit card. You know, uh, they got it's called I'm gonna have to look it up, but what I want to explain to you is what a credit card is. Okay, so a credit card is any device, any book, any instrument that you use or that's used in order to acquire credit. Now, we've been miseducated on how credit works. All right, everybody got a credit application. When you want, like, say for instance, if I want uh full coverage for my vehicle, right, with uh uh State Farm. So what I would do, I would go on State Farm's website and I would Google their credit application. The reason why you want to Google the credit application is because you want to make a request for credit. Anytime you put in an application for credit, you're not, and you get approved, you shouldn't have to pay no cash. You shouldn't have to pay in any other form of payment outside of the credit that was approved once the application has been submitted and it's been accepted by the other party. So credit is credit, when you want credit, you put in an application for it. Once it's approved, you demand that it be applied for your benefit. So I just put in a $10,000 application for State Farm insurance for coverage, right? I submitted the application. They've accepted it. They haven't sent me back anything saying that they rejected it or anything, but they haven't called me either. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get on the phone, call them, let them know that I submitted an application to them. I want them to pull it up or whatever. And then once they pull up the application and we get everything set up, I'm gonna file a financing statement against it and secure my interest in that application, or because the application is the request for the credits. So once the application is submitted, the financing statement is what you file to secure the credit that you was pretty much requesting. Once it's been submitted to them, you want to make sure you secure it. So now that when you got a secured, it's called a secured application. A secured application is one where when the application is submitted, all right, it's been recorded. You recorded your rights against the interest of the application to have it paid over to you. Now, let me explain to you what I mean, because a lot of people don't get the application. All right, so when you put in the application for credit, what you're actually doing, you're asking, when you put in an application for credit, you're asking the person that you're trying to purchase with to give you the settlement amount, so that when you purchase the product, the credits that you put in for will settle whatever you're trying to purchase. That's the whole purpose in putting in a credit application. So once the credit application has been submitted and put in, all right, let me give you an analogy of a car contract so you can get where I'm saying. Now, I want a car. I looked at this Benz. It was pretty nice Benz. So I put in an application for it online for the Benz. Once the application was pre-approved, right, with the bank, which was Mercedes-Benz Bank or whatever, once they pre-approved me, I went down. I went down to the dealer, and pretty much once you get pre-approved, that means that you have the right to the credits because it's pre-approved for you to go ahead and get the credits. So what that means is once you get a pre-approval, that means that the installment loan agreement has been approved for you to pretty much sign or give value to. So the actual loan, when you put in for a application for a mortgage, right? When you put in a credit application for a mortgage, once they approve you, the actual loan that they approved you for is the mortgage note. When you put in an application for a lease or for an apartment and you get approved, once you get approved, they're approving you for the lease. What? Yeah, so the application is how you get to the bond. All right. So the application, once it's approved, is giving you the right to sign the bond, which is the value of the contract. So if I put in an application for a credit card, a credit application for a credit card, and it's approved or it's pre-approved, that gives me the right to sign the credit card agreement, which is the bond or the money that's going to be pledged to the third party as value. Now, we didn't know that. They never taught us that every contract is a bond and every bond is pledged to another party for consideration. Now, they've been taking all our bonds. Every time we enter into an agreement, we create a bond, we create a debt. A debt is a bond. A bond is money. A bond has an interest attached to it. The bond can be pledged for the interest, which covers it right up front to discharge it. You got to understand, when a debt is created, the interest on the other side of the debt is created. It's called matching principle. You can't have a debit without a credit. You can't have a debt without some kind of credit to pay it off. When in accounting, I've never went to school for this, y'all, so y'all got to get a blessing to the Most High, all right? In accounting, the way that it works is when an account is created in accounting, the value covering the account is created at the same time that the account is created. So the matching principle works like this. You can't pay off something unless you pay it off with the same value that it was generated from. So the only way you can pay off a debt, you got to use the same interest that was created with that debt in order to apply that interest to the debt in order to settle the debt. If you pay with Federal Reserve notes, if you pay with any other form of payment, you're not making payment, because the payment can only, in accounting, it can only be paid by its matching principle. Whatever matches that instrument is the only thing that can pay it off. So if you're using any other form of payment, all you're doing is offsetting it. You're just setting it off to a later time, and it's gonna roll right back around to you. You set it off again, and it roll right back around to you. Until you learn how to actually make the payment in interest, then once the payment is made in interest, then there will be no more bill. The bill is only reason why you're getting bills is because you have an interest that is due to you on the contract that was able to be paid up front. And because we didn't know about the interest, we abandoned it, so it became due to us. So every month they bill us for the interest that is due to us to be applied to the account. Because the account is in your name, you're the owner of the account. So if there's an interest due and you are the owner of the interest in which is due, then it's your responsibility to make sure that the interest is being applied. If the account is being held by a third party, but the third party has a right to apply your interest to the contract, and he's the one that extended the loan to you, so his ledger is showing that he loaned you an asset for $50,000, and that asset, once it was loaned to you and you gave value, you created an interest matching that asset that he gave you. But when you gave it back to him, the interest that you gave to the asset, you never paid the interest to the asset. So when he received it back in his possession, he got the asset with the value you gave to it, but it wasn't payable to his order. So in that sense, he can't make payment for you because you never made the instrument payable, or the interest covering the lease payable, or the interest covering the mortgage payable, or the interest covering the rental agreement payable, or the interest covering whatever agreement that you're entering. You got to make sure that your interest, you got to understand, you cannot pay nothing in this system. Only way you can pay is with lawful tender. The only thing that you have that you can lawfully tender for value is your interest. And according to the UCC, interest is what secures an obligation. So if you got an interest in how you know you got an interest? Your name is on it. If your name is on it, that evidences your interest in it. If your name is on anything, that means you got some say-so in it. Because your name written on it. If your name on it, that means you got a property right. Don't you understand that your name is property? Don't you do you? I forgot. You still think you your name? You still think you a name, right? Wait a minute. You think you flesh and blood, don't you? That's what you think. You think you're flesh and blood, huh? You just realized you was a spirit. Now it makes sense why they tell you got to appear in court, because a spirit can appear in many forms. You know what I'm saying? So because you are not realizing that you are a spirit, having an earthly experience, this vessel is finite. It fades. This is not the true you. When I go in a courtroom and I talk to anybody, a judge, a prosecutor, I'm private. How I know I'm private? Because he can't read my damn mind. If he can read my mind, then I would say, oh, well, I'm public. Everything about me is public. Everybody know what I'm thinking, know what I'm saying before I say it. But everything that God gave me was private. Everything about me is private. You don't know nothing about me unless I open my mouth up to you. So my life, my existence in itself proves that I was born to be a private man, not a public one, because everything about me is private. So it's all about you coming into a realization that you are a private man or woman, and in your private capacity, you act as an agent or an employee in use of some sort of entity, organization, corporation, government entity, whatever you want to call the straw man, whatever you want to call them. All right, you got to understand the Social Security recognizes you as a name holder. You are the holder of an account that was set up for you at birth in your own name, but you gotta come to the realization that it is an account, and you gotta be able to express the trust. When you got a birth certificate in your hand, you gotta know what it is. You gotta be able to explain the trust. If you can't explain the trust, you can't exercise your rights as beneficiary or beneficial owner. You got to be able to go in there, because the average person gonna tell you, okay, that's your birth certificate. That's just showing when you was born. You got to be able to break that down. No, this is not a certificate of identity. This is actually a trust certificate showing that the name you have on file is actually a registered organization with the state of Missouri. Here's the file number showing when it was filed, and there's the name showing that it was registered. But it's one thing you need to pay attention to. Even though the legal name is a registered entity, a registered name, you see right here it says the child's name. So actually, the government name is actually a surname and given name of a real man being used in commerce. So now I need to make some claims, because now you understand that the name is actually a real man's name, but it's being displayed as some type of legal person or a legal entity, but it's not identifying the true man. See, the straw man is a Sesta KV trust, to where the actual trust, which is the government name, is really the name of a real man or the real woman. It's called a Sesta KV trust. The Sesta KV trust is where the trust carries your name, but it doesn't identify your ownership until you assert the trust. All right? Because you got to understand that the real name of the straw man is the man's surname and given name. So when the man asserts his claim over his property and makes that distinction that the name, the government name, is a registered entity with whatever state that he's in, and he show his facts, and then he come in with his passport and an affidavit of identity or some sort of document of a sworn oath with two witnesses verifying who you are, making a declaration in reference to the separation of the two parties, one being an agent or an owner, and one being actually an account or some sort of organization used in order for the man or the woman in use of it to acquire rights to value or benefit from the property being transferred in the name of that trust. All right, and you got to get it to that point to where you can explain these things. Once you get to the point where you can explain the trust and you can break down the trust, you can actually start, doing things to settle. Now, let me tell you about your accounts. A lot of these accounts can be fixed with just you making a claim against the interest of the account. You got to understand that the seller has an interest in the account by way of assignment. When you assigned it to him and he became the holder over your contract agreement, and then you didn't secure it before the interest became abandoned, he secured his rights against your interest, because he had a right to have that interest applied, because he extended that loan to you by giving you the asset. If he didn't give you the asset, you would never have the account. If the bank didn't give you the signature card, you couldn't open up the bank account. If the dealer didn't give you the installment loan agreement, you can't get the car. If the mortgage company don't give you the mortgage note, you can't get the house. So you gotta understand that these instruments that they're giving to you are the loans that are being given to you. That's what you gotta repay. You gotta repay the mortgage note. You gotta repay the installment loan agreement. You gotta repay the lease. You gotta repay the rental agreement. Not in cash, not in Federal Reserve notes. In interest, man. You got an interest. And your interest is not a security interest. Your interest is a bona fide interest, an ownership interest. You have title over the U.S. person. Prove it. Facts. You got a social security card which shows that you are the account holder. You have a birth certificate, which is citizenship, means that you are the holder of the citizen. You are not a damn citizen. You are the holder in due course of a U.S. citizen. Facts. Facts. Nobody can deny that. Nobody can deny when you sit down and you competent and you know how to express yourself and you tell them, hey, look, here's my passport. Here's my real name right here so you can get it. I got a surname and given name. But the name of the U.S. person is actually a trust in my name. That's why it's Liddell D'Angelo Lewis. But my real name is Louis Liddell D'Angelo. Here's my passport to prove that what I'm saying is true from the federal government. Now, what I want to do is show you the birth certificate so you can see that the other person that you got on file is actually registered with the state as a registered entity. But the man, here's my ID, is actually the owner. See, you got to be able to. You gotta be able to express yourself, man. You gotta be able to express the trust. If you know what it is, then you should be able to express it. You should be able to. You should be able to go sit down with anybody once you get the right knowledge and sit down and be able to. And they can't deny it. When you pull out that birth certificate and you say the government name is a registered entity, and you show them the certificate, how can they deny it, yo? How? Prove it. They can't deny it. All they can do is get a supervisor because they never heard it before. But it makes sense. He's showing his proof. He got everything to prove that what he's saying. I thought the birth certificate was but the way he's breaking it down, it makes a lot of sense what he's saying. So let me get John down here because I've never seen this before. And that's all it is, yo. All it is you coming into the body of knowledge that you need to have in order for you to do the things that you need to do. So I'm finna ready to get out of here, but I just want to let y'all know I got a class that I'm finna do now. It's dealing with the assumed name. It's like a 3-part, but it's gonna show you how to secure your bank account. So because I got a lot of people been actually wanting to learn how to deal with the bank, and step by step, they want me to actually show them step by step. Step 1, step 2, step 3, all the way to with the bank in order to secure the account. So I got it on my website right now. It's being aired on the website. If you want to be in this upcoming class, this 3-part series, so you can learn how to secure your bank account, so you can do EFTs, so you can write personal checks and stuff like that, and be able to, because right now inflation is going up. Gas almost damn near $10, y'all. This is the time for you to learn how to do what you need to do to acquire your interest so you can learn how to live. Because if you don't learn about interest, what I'm trying to teach you, you're gonna suffer in this system, because that's what they doing. They using inflation. We so used to using cash for everything. Inflation only hurt poor-minded people that don't know about interest. If you know about interest, inflation don't bother you because everything you do is secured already. If I write a check, it ain't coming out my funds in the check account. The check itself is being paid by the interest that covers the check. So I'm not worried about no damn inflation. Only people that worry about inflation are the ones that are acting as debtor, that still pay bills, that still use cash as a alternative method of payment, still purchasing cars, houses with cash and down payments. Y'all the ones that's gonna suffer. The ones that know about applications and interest and credit, we are the ones that's gonna benefit in this system because we learn what we needed to learn in order to exercise our rights throughout the system to reap the benefits. If you get your bank account together, man, you can have what you want. Just think about it. If your bank account covers, is secured $250,000 per deposit, not just per deposit. So that means that any deposit you make, the bank will cover it as long as it's not over $250,000. FDIC insurance covers every deposit you make up to $250,000. If it goes over $250,000, then that's when it's an overdraft, right? Because you went past the credit limit that's allowed for you to have as far as credit of an item. Whenever an item is deposited, they only can credit it up to a certain amount. So what the bank has actually been robbing you. You've been doing EFTs, or you write a check for $10,000 to somebody, and then the bank say insufficient funds, and then they charge you a fee, and the check went number the $10,000 check. So that should bring eyebrow. That should raise an eyebrow like the Rock. Your eyebrow should go up like the Rock. Like, wait a minute. Well, according to the FDIC, it says that my deposits are covered up to $250,000. So I just made a deposit with a check to Sprint, and they said that it got returned for insufficient funds. I find that hard to believe when this account is FDIC insured. When the bank has the FDIC insurance notice up front, you think the bank want to put that notice up there for you? You think they want you to know that they FDIC insured? Hell no. They don't want you to know that. It's a requirement of the federal government that they give you disclosure of their insurance, or what we say, they're borrowing benefits from the government. So if you're borrowing benefits from the government, you have to insure all government obligations. You can't deny a government obligation and you're insured by the government. You get where I'm going with that? How you borrowing from the government, but you're telling me you can't accept my bill when I tender it to you for credit? But you're receiving benefits from the government, and this is a government obligation. So you got to accept this because you're working for the government. So it's just like once you start getting the concepts and you start learning what you need to learn, you can actually exercise your rights against any bank or anybody that's denying you something you're entitled to. So this is what I'm gonna be going over, y'all. Hey, go to the website, thepeoplesremedyinc.org. Sign up for this class, man. Sign up for this class. When you come out this class, you're gonna be able to secure your bank account. And once you secure your bank account, you can start actually doing what you want to do. You can start until you learn how to do other things. At least you'll be able to write checks. You'll be able to do EFTs. You don't have to worry about no charges being charged towards you because the charges will be charged toward the interest of the account because I'm gonna show you how to secure the account. So with that said, y'all, I just wanted to get on here and drop a little bit of science, but also I wanted to advertise to let y'all know about the upcoming event. So go on my website and check it out so you can get in it, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this information right here that I'm gonna do it this one time. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't gonna do it step by step, how to secure your bank account, or none of that. But I decided, I say, F it. I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway, because we all need the knowledge, man. You know what I'm saying? And if I can help your family or the next person's family, then so be it. Like I said, uh, uh, when you honor man and you honor woman, you honor yourself. So part of me giving my honor to you is me sharing what I know, me sharing the knowledge with you and making it to where it's affordable for you to actually get the knowledge, secure your bank account, and do something way greater than what you gave me. You probably give me a little couple of $100, but when you secure your bank account, you're gonna be able to do whatever the hell you want to do. So that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Me, making it to where it's beneficial for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can actually do the same things that I'm doing. Okay, most definitely. I'm gonna keep making videos and stuff, and putting stuff out there for the people and stuff like that. I got a couple of videos that I'm gonna do. I got a lot of great information stored. I gotta really just find the time to actually sit down to actually do the videos and explain everything. Cause y'all know, like usually when I do a video, it's hard for me to do a short video because I got so much knowledge in my head, so much information that I can talk about. It's hard for me to get on here for 10 minutes and get right off. Like most time when you see a person that get on here and he say some real fly stuff and then he get off, he's trying to draw you in to spend your money, because that's like a marketing tool where I don't give you everything. I just give you a little bit just to intrigue you, and then I cut the video off. Now you like, damn man, he was going in. Whoo, I gotta get in that class. I don't have to do all that because I'm the real deal. I ain't gotta do all that faking. I ain't gotta, for real. Uh, the amount, I don't know. My secretary put it all together for me. You know what I'm saying? So you have to go on there and look. A lot of times, I just I got other people that work with me when I put stuff together and stuff like that, as far as uh dealing with the prices and all that stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, cause if I put it together, I probably charge an arm and a leg. I'd be he like, man, brother Isaiah, bro, I thought you said you was gonna make it affordable. I thought that was affordable. So, I let my secretary, which is really my woman, actually handle that, because she real crafty when it comes to marketing and things like that, making it to where it's affordable for people and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's my main thing. And my main thing is to make it to where y'all can actually uh yeah, I ain't I don't knock like Jonah Bay, Yusaville, or Don Kalam, or any other the other brothers that's out here teaching, or sisters. that's teaching, whatever their prices are, whatever they feel that they're worth, then I can't knock a man for what he feel he's worth. If he feel that his consultation is worth 2,500, who am I to say it's not? You know what I'm saying? That's that man's worth. So that's how I look at it now. Is it worth that to me? Hell no. I ain't finna pay you 2,500 to talk to you on no damn phone. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth that. Now if you was dropping some high science and I felt like $2,500 was worth it, yeah, all right, I'm gonna pay it because you put enough information out there for me to know that I need to get on the phone with you. You know, I can see just by what you're doing that you are that deal and that you worth what you asking for. But if you're not worth it, if you just, if I haven't, nah, I can't do that, man. Like, I get on here, I show receipts. I have other people that done got on my videos and made confirmations that they done discharged and got rid of debts and all kind of stuff, man. It's a lot of people get remedies and stuff, and they never even say nothing, and they'll tell me about it, but I never make no videos and put it out because I'm not trying to draw you in. I'm not trying to prove to you that, hey, brother Isaiah got the remedy. He just discharged this man's house now, so I can get everybody to come in. Oh man, I ain't gotta do that, man. All you gotta do is just look at my videos. All you gotta do is just look at the information on my Instagram. Just the information I put out alone. If you read you can't deny it. I'm putting out stuff that tell you how to do stuff step by step. Tell you what the name is. I'm putting out stuff that ain't nobody else putting out because ain't nobody else took out the time to search like I've been searching. You know what I'm saying? And we all got our own niche. The way that the information come to me, it come to me the way that it comes to me. The way it come to the other person, it come to them. With me, it comes to me based off consumer law. I'm a very spiritual person. I'm not religious for real at all. I'm very spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Because I do believe in spirituality, and I believe that that the God that everybody is seeking to worship or submit to is in you. That God force, that energy, it's always been inside you your whole life. It made your lungs, your liver, your pancreas, it made your nervous system, it made everything, your eyeballs, everything. Just think about it. All that stuff took place inside of a sperm. And it created all these different stages of life for you. And that energy that created you is still in you. It's still in you right now. Right now to this day, it's still in you. But how many people actually tap into it? A lot of us, we didn't forget about that person. I heard Farrakhan said something one day that was so powerful. He was talking about the that every man and every woman has an inner child that stays protected. It's basically he was saying that your innocence, ever since the day you was born, has always remained inside of you, protected. That innocence, that purity that was created when you were born. And he says that every now and then, the little kid will come out to play. And I had to think about it because sometimes you might be with your lady and then you get that little you get that little baby fied moment where you act like a little baby, or your girl, she be laying on you and y'all just had that little baby moment where you treating her like she a little baby, or she rubbing you like you a 2-year-old or something. That's that baby moment. That's something that we all have. But you know what? That person, he don't come out every day. He don't. Because when I let that person out, that means that I have opened myself up and I've basically allowed you to tap into one of the most purified places inside of me. And I've let my guard down and I let the little kid come out. If you see that part of me, then that means that I have surrendered myself. I have allowed everything to fall off and I'm letting you see who I really am. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't never see that childlike state of mind. They usually see the man when he on the go. He out, hey brother, how you doing? What's up? How you doing? Yeah, okay, yeah, absolutely. They see that assertive brother. They don't never get to see the other one, So that's, when he said that, it made a lot of sense, you know what I'm saying? So, and he was basically saying in so many words that you have to keep yourself in a childlike state. What happened is we grow in this world and then we become so caught up in the worldly things that we get to the point where we think we figured everything out. We think we know everything. Once you think you know, you stop searching. That's like You know, and this ain't to disrespect nobody's religion or nothing, but you hear a lot of Christians say that they found God, that they found Jesus, and that they found the truth. Well, that means that you stop searching then. If you found the truth, then that means that your journey has stopped in your path of truth because you found your source, and now there's no need to search anymore for truth because you've already found it. Well, let me tell you something. The truth is an everlasting path. God is everlasting. When you find God, you don't find God in His totality. You find a piece of God, and then you continue to grow on that journey of your search of God because God is everlasting. It's internal. There's no way that you can find the totality of God. It's impossible. What we can do is we can tap into that force, and then we can continue to grow in that God-like state to where we want to grow closer and closer and closer to have a relationship with God. Let me tell you, now my relationship with God is totally different, and I just say God overall because just to keep it common for everybody. I don't want to use no different terms, and people start, because people will reject your message if you get talking about Prophet Muhammad and all this other stuff. So I just keep it plain, okay? So when it comes to my relationship with God, what was revealed to me is that God is within me. You know what I'm saying? I had dreams where I was talking to God, and when He turned around and I actually seen who it was me talking to myself in my dreams. So I don't know if that was my subconscious mind trying to tell me that I am the God force that I'm seeking to change anything in my life, but I done had conversations in my dream, and you know how you have a dream, and you're talking to God in the dream, you can hear the voice, and it's God. Our bodies tell us things, man. Our bodies talk to us. It tell us a lot of things, man. And ever since I had that dream, I started making affirmations, telling myself, the things that I desire to have in my life and the things that I want to come about in my life. When I first started this journey with this sovereignty stuff, I was devastated. It was so much information, and I was just like, I just couldn't see myself learning all this stuff. It's like just the IRS manual alone is just intensified, and you don't even talk about the Treasury financial manual. A lot of people don't even know the Treasury got a financial manual. But the treasurer, you can look it up right now. The treasurer's financial manual. It tell you how to pay bills. It tell you how to use credit. It tell you how to do everything, right? But a lot of people don't even know it exists, man. But to make a long story short, I had to find strength in myself. I had to learn how to actually believe in myself. And when I started believing that I was capable of doing anything I put my mind to, that's when my life started to change. When I first started this journey and started learning this information, I had doubt in myself. I doubted myself. I used to feel like I needed somebody to teach me how to write an affidavit or do a template out. Instead of me trying to learn, I was trying to get templates and follow somebody else's words. And I just realized that it came to a point that none of that really worked for me. I found myself getting ripped off. I found myself constantly calling people that didn't have information and all of that. And then I just decided one day, I told my girl, I was like, look, I know that this information can free us. I know that this is the right path. And, I just need you to hold us down. Give me a couple of years and let me just, you know, log into this thing. And that's what she did. She pretty much told me, don't worry about nothing. I got all the bills. All you need to do is just study, do what you got to do. And that's what I did, man. I helped out here and there, but for the most part, I quit the job, everything, bro. I gave up everything. And I told myself, I said that learning this information is way more important than working a damn job because I can work a job and a year from now I don't have nothing. I can study for a whole year and go buy me go get me a whole new house on credit because I learned about how credit works. I can go get me a whole new car off the dealership because I learned how credit work. So one of the greatest things that you can do is learn the information. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to work, man. Don't you understand that that was part of their scheme? Is to make you a worker. And when God already gave us everything, told us that the earth was ours and that all we had to do was subdue it and replenish it, everything is already yours. The only thing that they using against you is the lack of knowing. You don't know. So because you lack the knowledge of knowing, you keep doing stuff that you don't have to do. You keep entering into stuff that you're not supposed to be entering into. You keep going into contracts promising to pay instead of demanding payment. You keep looking at a contract as an obligation due to you instead of an obligation collectible to you. You got to you got to change your concept. A debt is a bond. A bond is something that somebody is bonding to do for you. If a contract is a bond, and before I sign the bond, it's telling me there are certain amounts that's due on the bond. When before I even sign it, it said your first payment is $250 due on the 15th, followed by 27 consecutive payments or 27 installments of $339 per month. Now this is the bond. The bond is the contract. So on the contract, before I even agree to the bond, which is the contract that I'm going to be liable for, it's already telling me how much is due on the bond. So when I sign it and accept that bond, then why am I paying? You shouldn't be paying nothing. You should be collecting the amounts that you just accepted. Man, a contract is a bond. A contract is an offer to pay you every amount due. Just think about it. Before you sign the contract, are the amounts due already on the contract? Are they already there? Or did they write them on there after you signed it? I believe that before you even signed it, every amount was already on there. It was already evidence that these amounts were already due. So when you signed it, I believe that according to the UCC, when you sign something, that means that constitutes an acceptance. So if I go get a lease and the lease is saying that there's rents due on the lease before I sign it, once I sign it, then that means that those rents have been accepted by me from the one who gave me the lease. At least that's the way I see it. I don't know how y'all see it. But that is money, yo. You better get it in your mind and start collecting your money on your debt. See, what you got to understand is the amounts that are due. The reason why you don't understand that you can collect those amounts because you don't understand interest. You don't understand that you have an interest in the contract, right? And that's why the UCC says that security interest is what secures the obligation. Every man, every woman has interest in everything he does in his life. Anything, you got interest in your children, your car, your house, everything. So everything you have an interest in. And your interest is what secures all of your obligations on any performance that's due on any contract. On any contract. You just got to get the right knowledge. And once you get that right knowledge and you learn how to exercise those rights accordingly to what the law says within the right specified times, and you're doing the right things, you're going to get the remedies. They're going to give you what you're entitled to, but you got to first learn what you need to learn so that you can be in compliance, because they have to follow certain procedures too, just like we have to follow certain procedures. And I'm going to tell you, one of the main procedures you need to follow is consumer law. You need to go and read all the consumer laws. You need to go pull up all the consumer laws. And you need to start reading them, man. This is your freedom. This is your freedom. Your freedom comes from you learning the truth about what a consumer is. The consumer is the natural person. The people are the head of the state. So if you're using a state ID, you're operating as a person. You are one of the people. You need a passport. How else could you make the government perform for you if you're not one of the people? Huh? You one of the people? Or you one of the persons? I'm one of the people. Oh, you don't believe me? Hold up, let me show you. Let me show you. Y'all don't believe. I don't believe Brother Isaiah is one of the people. Fire! I'm one of the people. Hold up. Hold up. Check this out. The Secretary of State of the United States of America hereby requests all whom may concern to permit the citizen/national of the United States named herein to pass without delay or hindrance And in case of need, give all lawful aid. So if I go into a bank, this is the first thing I'm gonna give them is my passport, book, and I'm gonna tell them I need you to read this right here because I need you to understand that I'm one of the people. I'm not a person. I'm one of the people. And because I'm one of the people, you have to give me aid and assistance as a trustee. You're here to work for me. You're here to assist me. You're here to help me do all the things that I need to get done. This bank account is not identifying my real name. Because I have this in my hand and it has this paragraph on the front page, I need your assistance to help me correct this account. See, you got to understand who you are. You got to understand that your federal identification makes you one of the people. People are recognized by surname, given names, surname, given name. All right? The government don't recognize a first, middle, and a last name. They recognize a surname, which is a family name, and a given name, which is a name given to a child, right? The Social Security Administration, they don't identify a first and last name. They identify a surname and a given name registered as one legal name. So the legal name is one legal name, but according to the Social Security Administration and according to the federal government, that legal name is really consisted of two parts. One is a surname and one is a given name. So even though it's being displayed with them as a legal name, the man whose name it really is can claim his rights over his property by identifying himself. That's your name they got. And you own that name. They changed it and made it to a legal person. When they turned the name into a legal person, they gave you property rights because they used your name to make that person with. Because they used your property biologically to create another person, then that gives you all ownership and rights and interest and title over the person created from your personal information. This is not hard to do. So anybody telling you to rescind your social and all that stuff, they haven't studied enough. They basically messing your account up. They got you messing your account up. The same thing that's for your benefit. Once you learn how to use it, you can mess it up by resending and doing all this old dumbass stuff that people telling you because you haven't studied enough. You gotta study, yo. It's not hard to get this, man. It's not hard. In your proper person, you're a national. In your public person, you are an entity. You are a legal entity. So you got to understand how to operate. You got to understand how to operate publicly, and then you got to know how to make claims privately. That's all it is. You operate publicly, but then you make your claims in the private. What is a claim in the private? When you express yourself in writing, when you send an affidavit and you send something in writing through the mail, that's a private thing because whatever I sent to you in mail, don't nobody on this video know what I just sent to you in the mail. How the hell they know what I sent? That was private. It was sent through the mail. So understand the difference between private and public. Private is how you do, public is how you operate when you're doing business. Whether you're using an LLC, a trust, or whatever, you're operating in the public. But whenever you're expressing your rights to payment or consideration, that's a private thing. That's something that you must express privately. That's something that you get what I'm saying? Even if it's up front and you enter into an agreement and you're trying to express your rights, you ain't going to come out and say, hey, man, I need you to credit me for this. You're going to attach an affidavit or a notice of claim. You're going to do some kind of private transaction and attach it in order to claim a right. It's a private thing that has to happen because publicly, you're not recognized. But privately, you can express yourself. So get it in your head. Yes, yep. So with that said, y'all, they're gonna bring me to a closure. I'm glad that y'all tuned in. If you haven't been to my Instagram, go to the People's Remedy Inc. on Instagram. I drop a lot of information on Instagram, tons of information on Instagram. I'm finna start back doing my videos again. You know, I had to take a break for a little while because you know this stuff get overwhelming after a while. You know, you constantly, and then I'm talking to people and I'm constantly going over telling the same thing over and over again. It wear you out, man. I ain't lying, especially when you trying to tell somebody something and it's simple to you. but it's complex to them, and you just can't understand why they can't get it. And it just wear you out, man. It wear you out. So y'all go check me out on the Instagram. Also I got a TikTok. But I ain't really been making no videos. I just been dropping all like quotes, information, and stuff like that. But it's tons of information on there, stuff you can read, dealing with the codes, telling you different things and stuff. So I got a lot of information. Anywhere you find me, you're gonna find information. Facts, facts. You're gonna find information every time you find me. So with that said, yo, I'm gonna get on up out of here. Y'all make sure y'all go to the website, sign up for the class so you can learn how to secure your bank account and you can learn how to do everything right with the DBA, how to put it on file with the clerk of court, so you can get this process down, so you can start basically building generational wealth for you and your family, and you can start your estate planning. Y'all get with me so we can get this thing crackling. All right, I'm out of here. Peace.